Farm Week is a production of the Mississippi State University Extension Service.
Today on Farm Week, it's a feature story edition of our show. The nation's largest ethanol producer says it's still going to make ethanol from corn, but now it's looking at the rest of the plant.
In southern gardening, the Million Bells Calibrachoa. It can stand the summer heat, and it's a great container plant.
Our first feature segment today is about Go Gardens. We'll go to Lamar County, where the magic of growing plants is being used to introduce children to conservation and the outdoors. It's even paying benefits for older residents.
The garden gives them a sense of responsibility. It makes it belong. It's something that belongs to them. It's something that they care for. It's living, it's breathing, and that in itself lends itself to so many other things that they have to deal with, helping with brothers and sisters, helping a friend, taking care of the world in general. You know, the environment is such a focal point right now.
Good day, everyone. I'm Leighton Spann.
And I'm Artist Ford. Welcome to Farm Week.
Today it's an all-feature edition of our show.
Leighton, our first story today is about teaching conservation on soil and water to the young. We live in an urbanized, busy society that focuses on inside activities. Many children grow up having never planted a garden or realizing that food is grown in the ground and not a grocery store. Trying to combat this lack of knowledge, the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District developed what it calls Go Gardens. The Go Gardens have succeeded beyond everyone's expectations, and they can be found everywhere from first grade classrooms to nursing homes. Other states are trying out this innovative teaching tool.
There you go. Good job. You must help Mom in the garden.
It's simple in design, but the Go Garden is having a big effect on Leslie Barger's kindergartners and first graders. The Oak Grove primary school teacher admits she knew little about gardening when she received her Go Garden, but now she can't imagine teaching without it.
It is math, it is science, it is social studies. You can talk about what different people grow in different countries, what's native to our area. It's language arts.
When we deliver these things, they are ready for the kids to go garden, so to speak. They are set up with the soils and the containers, the structures themselves, and everything's ready to start.
The Go Garden is the inspiration of the Lamar County, Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation District and its manager, John Monroe. The district wanted to find a way to introduce the county's first graders to conservation principles. Monroe says there's no wrong way to make a Go Garden. The district's consists of a frame about 8 feet tall with a bench at the bottom to hold 3 containers. Net wire is attached to the upper part of the frame for vines and other tall plants to grow on. The students plant their seeds or transplants in the potting soil in the containers. It sounds simple, but Barger says that the Go Garden and the nearby flower beds create an excitement for learning that no picture in a book can match. The students have even eaten the produce they've grown.
Literally in 20 minutes, brought it in, set it down, filled it up, did a presentation, and the kids were planting their plants. And from that, we had 3 fabulous cabbage that we got to cook and eat in the classroom.
More and more that you talk to children today, they really don't know where some of our agriculture comes from. You know, the grocery store, we get a lot of stuff from our grocery store. So this really teaches them where food comes from and teaches them about soil and water and how things grow and how the process works and how we harvest our food. And it teaches them that we must be stewards of our resource so that we can continue to have our food resources, we can continue to have wildlife resources.
Before the Go Garden, Barger had already seen what simply having her students outdoors could accomplish. Since her classroom is on the edge of the campus, she had created an outdoor book nook under some overhanging vines. Being outdoors helped one of her students have more confidence in the classroom.
And we cut a hole and we would go inside there and sit and read, and it gave him that secure feeling of what he was comfortable with at home. And it really opened him up and brought him into the classroom.
Barger uses the Go Garden and the accompanying flower beds in every part of her kindergarten and first grade curriculums. There's recognizing patterns, math, and teaching new vocabulary words. There's also science and social studies as students learn about native plants and how people depend on them. There are animals, frogs, and insects to find, photograph, and identify. Barger says all these items can be learned from books, but her students are energized when it happens in their garden.
We've had a wonderful experience with the caterpillars, to be able to not just look at the life cycle of a butterfly in a book, but to be able to come out here and to pick up the caterpillars and to watch them as they put them right up in the front of their eyes, and as they, look and they examine it, all the way to watching the chrysalis, watching them come out, and then releasing them into the garden.
Go gardening is also high-tech. Barger's students take electronic photographs, they post these pictures and blog about the happenings in their garden area on their website. A rabbit sometimes visits the garden area. It's another opportunity for learning and excitement. Other classrooms at Oak Grove Primary School plant what are called shape gardens. These are raised bed gardens fashioned in various geometric shapes.
And that consists of, right now, 4 boxes, each a different geometric shape, that I adopt out to other classrooms. And so they'll keep it for a growing season. They might plant vegetables, they might plant flowers, that's up to them. And they will tend to it for a growing season, and then we will till it up and we will give it to adopt it out to another class.
The effects of the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District's Go Garden program are reaching beyond the classroom. Pine Belt Industries, a division of Pine Belt Mental Health Care Resources, is constructing Go Garden stands. This Pine Belt division teaches job skills to its clients with developmental disabilities.
We're trying to take these individuals and teach them social and vocational skills. Teaching them the skills that they need or that's required of them out in the workforce. It steers us away a little bit from things that we're constantly making, and it shows them something new, and therefore they're having to use different types of tools, giving them different instructions.
Pine Belt Industries can also customize the Go Gardens by varying the bench height or placing rollers on the legs.
Oh, it gives them a sense of pride, and has something that they can take care of personally. It's just something with working with your hands.
An unforeseen target group for Go Gardens has turned out to be nursing homes and assisted living centers. Once again, the center's residents feel the same sense of ownership experienced by Lamar County first graders. The Oxford Health and Rehabilitation Center of Lumberton, Mississippi, already has a garden out back of the center, but it's inaccessible to residents in wheelchairs or those who can't be allowed outside the building.
For residents who are not able to necessarily get up and do the things that they once were able to do, being able to come out here and garden and water and prune and do everything that goes into gardening, it is going to be a sense of me. Look what I've done.
In this case, the Go Garden's height is adjusted for wheelchairs. It's placed in an enclosed courtyard next to a concrete walkway, so it's accessible to all the residents. These pictures were taken a few weeks after the initial planting. It shows the Oxford Center's residents' gardening skills are still sharp.
We thought it would be just kind of a local school thing, and we've now expanded it to the nursing homes, which I think is probably going to be where it takes off from now on. It's probably the biggest portion of growth that we'll see.
John Monroe says the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District is willing to share its Go Garden program and stand design with anyone. It's already attracted a lot of attention from outside Mississippi.
We've had requests for designs from as far away as Minnesota. We've gotten requests from North Carolina, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee. The designs have gone statewide. We know people who are writing grant proposals to put these things in county schools, assisted living facilities, and we're just thankful that it has done as well as it has.
The garden gives them a sense of responsibility. It makes it belong. It's something that belongs to them. It's something that they care for. It's living, it's breathing, and that in itself lends itself to so many other things that they have to deal with, helping with brothers and sisters, helping a friend, taking care of the world in general. You know, the environment is such a focal point right now. And as we talk about conservationism in the garden, they are so eager to make other things better.
And if you're interested in watching this story again, go to our website, farmweek.msucares.com. We'll also have the contact information for the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District. You can contact it to get copies of the Go Garden plans. You can also talk to Pine Belt Industries, and they'll make you a Go Garden. That's farmweek.msucares.com. And Leighton, this story first aired in the fall of 2009, and I wanted to air it again because a lot's happened to Leslie Barger.
It's gardening season, too.
Yeah, it's gardening season. Barger was named the Outstanding K-6 teacher by the Mississippi Association of Conservation Districts in January. In February, she was named Conservation Educator of the Year by the Mississippi Wildlife Federation. Farm Week was honored with the Conservation Communicator of the Year from the MWF back in '95, so we're in good company there. The Go Garden program made such an impact on Barger that she's now a Deputy Commissioner with the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District. And the biggest update of all, since Farm Week last visited, she's had a baby boy. He's about 6 or 7 months old now. So the program continues to grow, has a lot of interest with churches and individuals building their own. And the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District, they're not selling these to make a money. They're not making a profit, but it does make a difference. And man, when you're with Leslie Barger, you want to get one of these, grab a classroom and start teaching kids.
And now they're all over the country, right?
It is that hands-on that works.
Well, time now, artists, for our trivia quiz for today on Farm Week. It is about a plant that is native to South America, but it's grown everywhere now. Here's the question. It's about potato consumption in the United States. How many pounds of potatoes does each American eat each year? Is the answer 25 pounds, 37 pounds, 42 pounds, or 56 pounds? I'll have the answer after today's Southern Gardening segment.
Well, who doesn't love a plant that takes the heat and still flowers all summer? And this week's Southern Gardening segment, Extension horticulturist Dr. Gary Bachman shows us the versatility and ease of growing Million Bells Calibrachoa in containers and hanging baskets.
Visiting your favorite garden center, I know you've noticed the plant that seems like it has a million small flowers that resemble petunia. Calibrachoa, or commonly called Million Bells, is a relative of petunia and a great warm season performer. Million Bells should be grown in full sun. The plants will produce an unbelievable number of 1-inch wide flowers. Though these plants really put on a floral show with literally hundreds of flowers, they are self-cleaning. This is great because deadheading is not required. Part shade will be tolerated, but with less flower production. The growth habit of Million Bells is suitable for the landscape, but they really excel in containers and hanging baskets. The spreading habit and trailing stems will sprawl over the container edges. Million Bells like to be a bit on the dry side. Only water when the top of the planting mix feels dry. When growing Million Bells in containers, fertilize every other week with water-soluble fertilizer using 1 tablespoon per gallon. Use controlled release fertilizer in the landscape to maintain flower production. Million Bells are vigorous, heat tolerant, and have few insect pests. If you're looking for a prodigious producer, Million Bells lives up to its name. I'm Gary Bachman for Southern Gardening.
Gary says try the Million Bells in a container, especially if you've had bad luck with container plants before.
Well, time now to answer today's trivia quiz on Farm Week. Again, it's about the amount of potatoes eaten annually by United States residents. How many potatoes are eaten by the average American each year? Well, the answer is almost 37 pounds, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. The Bureau says U.S. potato production is worth $3.7 billion per year.
We're going to pause now for a break on Farm Week. Coming up, we'll have the calendar and one more feature story for you. Making ethanol from corn kernels is controversial, but one company is working hard to make it from corn waste. That's the corn stalks, leaves, and cobs.
Committed? I better be. When there's a real struggle or when I have thoughts of cutting the line, it's the commitment that makes me stand fast. I hang in because I never want to have to say, that was the one that got away. So yes, I am committed to my marriage until death do us part. Commit to your marriage.
Well, let's get back to our last story. Before we do that, we will look at the calendar, though. Mississippi State University is holding a Discovery Day for girls interested in forestry-related careers. They'll learn about jobs in forestry, wildlife biology, ecology, law enforcement, and land management. It takes place at the MSU campus Friday, April 8th. It's limited to 24 girls from the 9th through the 11th grades. There's no registration fee. Please call ahead and reserve a spot. A workshop on wood, its identification and manufacturing characteristics takes place Tuesday, April 12th. The location is the Franklin Center at Mississippi State University in Starkville. Women interested in learning more about the business end of running a farm or agribusiness should attend the annual Mississippi Women in Agriculture Conference. It takes place Tuesday through Thursday, April 12th through the 14th. The location is the Boss Building Auditorium on the Mississippi State University campus in Starkville. Registration fees do vary according to whether you're already a member. We'll have links to help you register. Go to our Farm Week website at farmweek.msucares.com for information on these and other events. Now check out this Farm Week snapshot.
Our last story today is about the biggest plans yet to make ethanol from plant waste. The nation's largest ethanol producer is embracing the next generation of ethanol production. It will convert corn cobs, leaves, and stalks into fuel. Known as Corn Stover, Market to Market's David Miller says the company is building a commercial-scale plant in Iowa, and it began Stover collections last fall.
According to ethanol proponents, it will not be possible to meet the 36 billion gallon renewable fuels production mandate relying solely on corn-based ethanol. With that in mind, the energy bill specifies 16 billion gallons must come from advanced biofuels. Feedstocks for these advanced biofuels are expected to include municipal solid waste, wood chips, wheat straw, switchgrass, and corn stover. Leading the way to satisfy RFS2 is the world's largest single producer of ethanol, POET. Through Project Liberty, POET's advanced biofuels program, the ethanol giant plans to produce or assist others in the production of 3.5 billion gallons of cellulosic ethanol annually by 2022. Mike Roth is director of Biomass for POET.
It's a brand new industry within ethanol, which is relatively new, being about 20 years old. We still call ethanol a very immature industry. There's still a lot to learn and a lot of efficiencies to be gained. And this is adding a whole new component to it that really changes the game for our company, for our country.
To get the ball rolling, POET opened a cellulosic biofuels pilot plant at its Scotland, South Dakota facility in 2008. Producing just a few thousand gallons each year, POET Scotland has been a test bed for advanced biofuels development. USDA research shows 1.3 billion dry tons of cellulosic biomass is currently available in the United States. According to POET, that's enough to produce more than 1/3 of the fuel used by American drivers. After several $1 million in research and development, POET has begun work on its full-scale cellulosic plant in the northwestern Iowa town of Emmetsburg. Referred to as a bolt-on facility, the biomass plant will be located on the same grounds as the company's conventional starch plant. Ethanol production at the Advanced Biofuels operation is expected to begin in 2012. Poet plans to use more than 300,000 tons of corn stalks, cobs, and leaves to make 25 million gallons of cellulosic ethanol annually. This will increase the total output of the Emmetsburg facility to 75 million gallons per year.
We're trying to stay away from the lower stalk and any dirt that the farmer may pick up. We don't want that. But anything from the ear up, we'll take it.
Biogas, released by Project Liberty's enzymatic process, will be used to power both the biomass facility and the nearby starch plant. Byproducts from the anaerobic digesters are expected to be used as fuel and as a product to improve the physical properties of soil. According to Poet, when operating in full capacity, ethanol produced at the Project Liberty plant will actually have a negative carbon footprint. To gather the necessary material to feed the $250 million facility, Roth has enlisted the aid of area corn farmers to bale 1/4 of the stover normally left in the field. Poet research shows this equals about 1 ton of material per acre.
The literature we've reviewed says that on a given cornfield, you can take approximately 25% of the above ground residue and leave 75% on the ground for future years, for soil organic carbon, for nutrient replacement, etc.
Roth had no problem finding 85 farmers to sign 4-year contracts obligating them to collect, store, and transport something that used to be considered a waste product. He actually was forced to turn producers away. To encourage farmers to capitalize on these next-generation fuels, Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack recently unveiled the Biomass Crop Assistance Program, or BCAP. The matching program will pay up to 75% of the cost to produce, store, and transport the alternative feedstock.
And I believe the need for energy security, a cleaner environment, and better economic opportunity in rural America make the case for action now.
The idea was not lost on Myron Brune, who grows corn on 1,200 acres with his brother near the Emmetsburg plant. Brune sees the BCAP payments as a good incentive to get involved in the biofuels industry.
It's an investment to buy all the equipment, but there should be some return on the investment. We don't farm a lot, and if you can put a little more in your pocket by the end of the year, and it's progress.
Between the payments from Poet and the reimbursements from BCAP, Brune says he can afford the $75,000 investment he's already made in a new baler and a lowboy trailer for hauling the 1-ton round bales to the plant. Poet is paying Brune $45 per ton. 25 miles away, Dick Nelson is using experimental equipment supplied by Poet to gather square bales.
We've been cussing the corn stalks for years because we have so much cover on the ground. Now we can take off a ton or whatever, and it won't affect the erosion or anything. So it's a win-win proposition, I think.
For a square bale of biomass, Poet is paying $65 per ton. The first-pass collection method has its advantages and disadvantages. For Poet, less dirt gets into the bales. For the producer, more fuel is consumed while combining. Nelson also likes the idea of BCAP helping him pay for new equipment.
It's a great program. They talk about grinding up trees and switchgrass. Well, we got all kinds of cobs here, so it's going to work, I think. If they can make fuel out of it, we can do it. So I'm excited about it, yep.
For Poet and the farmers gathering biomass, the dream remains the same: reducing America's dependence on foreign oil.
With the advent of cellulosic ethanol, not only from corn residue, but also from switchgrass and bagasse and other materials, we will get to the point where ethanol can replace the 60% of the petroleum that we currently import. And if we use 40% of petroleum that we currently have domestically, and then the other 60% is ethanol, we are now energy independent.
For Market to Market, I'm David Miller.
If you're interested in watching our story again, go to our Farm Week website, farmweek.msucares.com. We'll also have links to the Market to Market website where you can see the story as well as read the entire script. And we'll also have a link to the Poets Project Liberty website there. That's farmweek.msucares.com.
Well, we are at the end of Farm Week for this week. On our next show, we'll look back at the year 2010 in agriculture.
It was a great crop year, but it was needed considering the disaster of the year before. Several biofuel operations announced they would be coming to Mississippi to take advantage of its wood fiber and other feedstocks.
It was a year that saw a change of leadership in several areas. For the rest of the Farm Week crew, I'm Artis Ford.
And I'm Leighton Spann. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back next week.